there, everyone. Hope you're all having a great day. So today we're going to be talking about Seasons of the Storm by Elle Cosimano. I don't know. I feel like I'm butchering her last name. Anyway, so I really enjoyed this novel for a lot of reasons. It has a lot of Greek mythology in there. I love Greek mythology. I think I've said that before. If you adapt Greek mythology properly, I'm gonna love your story, hands down. Just in case any authors out there listening, you want a good review for your book, and you're sure it's Greek mythology, just send it on my way. I'll read it, and I'll give you my honest opinion of it. But what I also loved about this is I love Jack Frost, I'm not really big on... I love Christmas when it's Christmas. I'm not one of those people who likes to celebrate Christmas all year round. But I love celebrating Christmas around Christmas. And I love Jack Frost. I love, I can't remember that movie where Jack Frost, he's like a teenager when he has to battle the nightmare with Sandman and Santa and the Tooth Fairy. And, the animated movie, gosh, can't remember it. Was it Legend of the Guardians? Man, I wish I could remember. But, Jack Frost was there. And, that all those old cartoons that were like stop motion cartoons. And you had Jack Frost. I love tales about Jack Frost. I don't know why. I just love, maybe it has to do with, the song Jack Frost nipping at your nose. I don't know. But I love Jack Frost stories. So this novel combines, it's sort of like you're combining the tale of Jack Frost, his kind of origin story, with Gaia, and Kronos, So it follows Jack Summers, the novel does follow two characters, Jack Summers of winter and Fleur of spring. So basically, they only exist above ground when it's their season. Otherwise they're sort of trapped in like an underground prison. It's not really that comfortable for Jack. He was chosen because of his spirit. He's a very strong spirit. He's a very rebellious spirit, and you kind of like him a lot. But I think what's also great is he goes through a lot of character development in this novel. He has to face Gaia. He has to face Kronos. He's sick and tired of living in this sort of prison that he's in, where he's just kind of, he has to exist, and then at the end of every season, this girl that he's in love with has to kill him, because that's how it's done. And it's really sad. He has such a sad life. He's immortal, but, as far as immortality goes, it's not really the ideal version of immortality. He's died so that he's sent back home to his hibernation chamber, where he's sort of hanging out with all the other winters, because there are so many other winters. You've got winters of every hemisphere, every geographical location. And all he wants to do is live with the girl he loves, except it's forbidden. So the story is all about him trying to figure out a way to live outside the grid with Fleur. And in order to do that, he needs autumn and he needs summer. And that's Amber and Julio. And I'll say this, they're such a really good knit of characters. I feel like the author did such a good job developing these characters and their dynamics. I mean, they're such great, and you can really envision these characters as their seasons. Amber as autumn, Julio as summer, Fleur as spring, and Jack as winter. You can really see how they embody their seasons quite perfectly, and I think it's really great how the story ultimately develops, how it it's a riveting story, and there's also a lot of passage of time, but the passage of time is captured quite wonderfully. You know, you don't get lost. You're just like, oh my god, how much time has passed? No, I mean, like, it's a few months here and there, and I think it's really good how it's done. You know, it's really high tension, high stakes story. Because then these guys, they all have to kind of go on the run, you know. They have to go on the run, they have to find a way to defeat Kronos, they have to find a way to live and survive against all the odds, because they shouldn't be able to survive outside their season on land. If it's not their season, you know, winter should not be able to survive during summer, autumn should not be able to survive during summer, you know. So they're all kind of struggling together, but they grow together. They are so different from who they were, from who they are in the beginning of the novel to who they end up being at the end of the novel. And I think that's really great. You know, I think it's really compelling. I think it's a lot of fun to see these characters develop, to see them grow together, and to see them become more than who they are. I think it's really good to see all of that. And ultimately, you know, I loved it. I loved these character dynamics. I loved how how the author decided to explore Greek mythology with Anake and Gaia and Kronos, you know, Kronos' scythe and Gaia's love for Earth. And, you know, I think it's a compelling read because we all know the story of Kronos and Gaia, you know. We know Greek mythology. But to see it sort of interpreted and brought to life in such a different way, you know, it's unique. And it really says a lot about the story. And it says so much about the world. In my opinion, anyway. I don't know. I just really love this novel. I really did. I thought it was such a good novel. I couldn't put it down. I was just like, reading. I'm like tired. I'm like, no, I need to read the next chapter. That was me when I was reading this novel. Because there is a lot of tension. There is a lot of character growth. And there's a lot of adventure. You know, these characters are moving on. They're exploring. They're growing as friends. Because, you know, they don't all like each other, but then they come to like each other because they get to learn more about each other. You know, they get to break down these barriers and become friends, which is something they weren't allowed to do before. So ultimately, you know, Seasons of the Storm, it's a good novel. You know, it's fun, it's unique, it's definitely riveting. And it has, like I said, it has a great cast of characters, you know. So, you know, this was Seasons of the Storm by Elle Cosimano. I'm butchering her last name. You can go ahead and purchase this book off of bookshop.org. Definitely have to recommend bookshop.org because a percentage of all proceeds do go to supporting local booksellers. And I don't know about you, but I love to support local booksellers. And if money's too tight, which I know for a lot of us it is, check out this book from your local library. Please support your local library because they are great resources for the community. And please support me. You can become an Anchor supporter. There's a link in the description. You can donate 99 cents a month to helping me develop this channel into something more. And just follow me on Spotify. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. And as always, happy reading.